Hope you're having a great day out there. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on Aspire to Retire with Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart of Welcome Home Financial Partners. WelcomeHomeFP.com is the website. If you have questions about your retirement outlook, your financial outlook, just concerns about, your overall financial prospects, you want to know more, learn more about the processes that Welcome Home Financial Partners does, the First Friday events, the website, again, welcomehomefp.com. We made it real easy for you. The link's right there in the podcast description. Just click it. It'll take you right there where you need to be. My name is Chris Swan, and I'm exactly where I need to be right now because I'm joined by Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. How you doing today?
Good. How are you, sir?
Doing well. There's a lot going on as we're recording right now, as we're sprinting towards the end of the year. A lot of things I know keeping you guys busy, so appreciate you spending time with the listeners right now. Some are still actually predicting a recession, but there's one financial company that sees our markets and economy a little differently. The European finance giant UBS believes the U.S. is going to experience a, quote, roaring 20s type economy with GDP growth over 2%, inflation below 3%, the Fed fund rates at 3.5%, and the 10-year Treasury at 4.5% or at 4%. Seems pretty optimistic, pretty rosy. What's the climate over there? How are you guys feeling about this?
Hopeful. I wouldn't say I'm nearly as optimistic as UBS.
Mm-hmm.
It's who knows what's going to happen. Nobody speaking on this recording could tell you exactly what's going to happen, and anybody that has a financial professional in their life that tells them that they know exactly what's going to happen needs to get a new financial professional because they'd be lied to. When we look at what the market is going to do, it just comes back to diversification to me. I mean, there is opportunity in any economic climate for retirees specifically to maintain their lifestyle, to have achieve the goals, aspirations, and dreams that they set out for. But you need to work with a financial professional that can help you diversify your holdings so that no matter what happens, you are able to live the lifestyle you want. And, the note that I'd make, even if UBS is right, and I hope we do have big growth and everything's rosy, if we look at the 1920s and the roaring 20s, I don't think they ended so well when we came out of that.
No.
So, people that were diversified coming out of the 20s probably fared better than people that had all their eggs in one basket.
I would also say, no matter what somebody might say, they got a 50-50 shot at being right, because most people are saying depression or recession. The others going to say we're doing great. So you kind of flip a coin. Whoever heads or tails, it's going to be 50%. Some of them's going to be right, some of them's going to be wrong. It's more important to focus on what you're trying to accomplish, because we have no control over whether we have a recession or not. But you better be ready. You better be like a Boy Scout and be prepared for it one way or another. And that's where we come in as helping people, guide them through this long process of retirement planning, making sure they have their goals set, achieved, and they can live that lifestyle that they've so dreamed of for so long.
Yeah, and so many people put so much emphasis on what the future is going to hold. And Scott said, and Ralph said, is we have no idea what the future is going to hold. We can base things off of stats and historics and theories and what have you. But at the end of the day, you got to be prepared. So if things go well, you want to do well. If things are going bad, at least you're protected. So that's what's more important instead of trying to predict the future and time the market, which is kind of on everybody's forefront right now.
So what I would say to our clients is this: if you think that we're having a recession, how's that going to affect you? Are you prepared in case you might have lost your job? Because that is a possibility when you get into a recessionary type period. The job that you have may not be there, or maybe technology takes your job away from you. Okay, so that's another thought that a lot of people are looking at these days with AI. Or, am I going to have my job next year because is it going to be taken away from me? So you prepare for this kind of lifestyle changes, because if you don't have an emergency fund, if you don't have any kind of savings plan to take that burden off of you and that worry off of you, that's a situation that we can help people address.
And as we've gone around the table, we've kind of looked at the downside of the coin here. What if UBS is wrong? Mm-hmm. What if we do head towards that recession? But what if UBS is right? If all of those numbers come true, what does that mean for people on Main Street? That means the inflation that we have felt since COVID, coming out of COVID. You know, everybody goes to the grocery store and eggs are, I bought eggs yesterday and my eyes got real wide. But, you know, I mean, we've experienced consumer inflation at a very high pace. Well, if UBS's numbers are right, if that comes true, there isn't going to be inflation relief that we're all hoping for. So going back to working with a financial professional that is going to help you diversify, you need to have a retirement plan that is not only recession resistant, but it's also inflation resistant. As Tim was saying, you know, we want to take advantage of some of the upsides, but make sure that you have the buying power that you need in retirement.
So are you trying to tell me that your $4 a day dozen?
I wish they were only $4. I bought the extra jumbos.
Oh, okay. So are you telling me that when inflation goes down to 2%, that we're going to reduce our cost of eggs? I don't think so.
I like I said when I opened it, you know, hopeful, not optimistic. You know, one can always hope, but my bigger fear when I brought that point up was the $6 eggs I bought yesterday don't become $8.
Right, that is correct. But that's the difference between thinking about Wall Street and Main Street. We live on Main Street.
Right.
We have to pay the same type of bills that all of our clients do. So we understand and we have the same experience that they do. So that's why it's very important to get to somebody that understands you and your goals and your aspirations and understand what you're going through. Because guess what? I have to buy the same dozen eggs, but I'm a little bit more frugal, and I don't buy those $8 a dozen eggs.
You know, when the household calls for grass-fed, organic, cage-free, I don't know. I just buy the eggs that Mrs. Earhart tells me to buy.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, did you ever realize we'd have a whole segment on eggs?
Well, no, I didn't think so, but it did remind me of a post I saw recently where I was talking about going to the grocery store and figuring out how morally responsible I want to be when it comes to my egg purchase. It's not to say that eggs are going to be an investment vehicle, but we do zero in on the point here. Inflation is always going to be a factor. Things always are going to cost more, even if it does cool down a little bit, which thankfully it has. Day to day, year to year, by the time you're 15 years into your retirement, 20 years into your retirement, knowing that the buying power of your dollars right now is going to diminish. So certainly, we hope UBS is correct. But Ralph, you said something, it's a flip of a coin, whether you're right or you're wrong, 50-50 shot. But it's not just a one-time thing. It is a consistent, you have to get it right over and over and over again. So it becomes from a 50% chance for consistently getting it right to 25%, 12%. So guessing, probably not a great strategy. A better plan is to actually have a plan, be prepared, as you said, going back to my Boy Scout days, and I think Boy Scout days around the table here, but having a plan in place, knowing that things will change down the line, whether the market is cooperating, the market isn't cooperating, and being able to know when to move, that is what the team at Welcome Home Financial Partners is here for, helping prepare to get you to, through, and beyond retirement. And it all starts by reaching out, finding out about their First Friday events, attending their First Friday events, setting up that retirement roadmap process. Again, it all begins by going to welcomehomefp.com. No cost, no obligation. Set up a time. They'd be glad to speak with you if you've got concerns or you have a sunny outlook when it comes to your financial prospects and you just want to know a little bit more. Welcomehomefp.com. As always, appreciate you taking time today to join us here on Aspire to Retire with Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart. Hope you have a great day ahead of you, gentlemen. Always hope you have a great day ahead of you. Good luck with your egg purchases, whatever it is you're going to be doing with those eggs later on today. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with the final word.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, as soon as we leave here, we're hitting the grocery store to make sure we stock up on some eggs. But, if you're listening to this and you are concerned about, your plans for retirement or lack of plans for retirement, we'd love the opportunity to sit with you down in the office and create your very own retirement roadmap for you. So we thank you for listening and take care.
All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decision, nor is it intended to be a projection of current or future performance or indication or future results. Opinions expressed herein are solely those of Welcome Home Financial Partners and Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC. The information contained in this material has been derived from sources believed to be reliable, but is not guaranteed as to accuracy and completeness and does not purport to a complete analysis of the materials discussed. All information and ideas should be discussed in detail with your individual advisor prior to the implementation. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstance. Advisor services are offered by Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Virginia. Being registered as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Insurance products and services are offered through WPI Holding, Virginia Insurance License Number 138509, an affiliated company. The information contained herein should in no way be construed or interpreted as a solicitation to sell or offer to sell advisory services to any resident of any state other than the state of Virginia or where otherwise legally permitted. Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC, and Welcome Home Financial Partners are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency.